He is back. Absolutely massive news out of practice yesterday as the Buffalo Bills and Sean McDermott are getting back their superstar defensive tackle. Thank you guys for tuning in to Bills Digest. Josh Schreiber here, and we've got an exciting topic here to talk about today. But before we do, about 67% of you guys are still not subscribed to Bills Digest. Hit that subscribe button. I promise you it'll be worth your time. We really appreciate everyone that does. And guys, this is perfect time to subscribe because the Bills are back in business. Ed Oliver has said that he is ready to play against the Atlanta Falcons on Monday night. And he said it simply enough. He said, "I'm ready." Well, Ed Oliver is back, and this is absolutely massive news for Buffalo Bills fans, as Ed Oliver has been the heart and soul of this defense, not only this season, but the past couple of years, especially on the pass rush. Ed Oliver absolutely dominated the game against the Ravens, where he was able to force that massive fumble on Derrick Henry to give them the ball back and give Josh Allen the chance to win this game. Not to mention, he had several pressures as well as a sack in that game, and you really could argue that he was the reason why the Bills were able to come back and beat the Baltimore Ravens in Week 1. And this news is just, you can't understate it, how big it is for the Bills defense that has really struggled to get to the quarterback since he's been gone. And what exactly did Ed Oliver say? Well, he said it simply enough. I feel good. I feel a lot better than last week, a lot more confident. I'm ready. And that is about as good of anything as you can hear from Ed Oliver, who, by the way, has been playing out of his mind while he's been on the field this year. When Ed Oliver is on the field, the Bills have allowed less than 0.1 yards per contact per carry, meaning before the players are even getting to the line of scrimmage, the Bills are able to make contact with the ball carrier. When he's not in the game, they've allowed 1.7 yards before contact per carry. That's the fourth highest, which is a massive swing. And what that means is when Ed Oliver is not on the field, teams are able to get 1.7 yards before they're even being touched. When he is on the field, they can't even get back to the line of scrimmage. So it is really, you can't understate that enough, how big that can be on any given ball game. And when you have guys in your division like Breece Hall, like Deone, and with the Patriots, I know their run game wasn't all that great, but they were able to move the ball at will against the Bills. And maybe if Ed Oliver's in the game, Drake May doesn't have enough time to throw. Drake May has to throw the ball away a couple times or make a couple ill-advised decisions. And as a young player, that can be the difference in a game. Maybe he throws the ball away, maybe he doesn't throw it well enough, and it gets intercepted. And that is what Ed Oliver has been able to do. You see that stat at the end. Since 2019, Ed Oliver has stuffed ball carriers at the highest rate among defensive tackles with 500-plus run snaps. So he's not only successful in the passing game, he is extremely successful defending the run. So big news out of Bills practice today, hearing that Ed Oliver is coming back. Now, before Ed Oliver was really even in media, he announced it himself, and a lot of Bills fans were speculating that he was coming back this year. You see this Instagram post here doing his signature lasso celebration after a big play. As many Bills fans know, Ed Oliver famously has many horses on his ranch. He loves riding horses, and you see here in that caption, "Somebody go get my belt, I'm finna do some blank around." So a little bit of not safe for work caption there, but certainly firing up some Bills fans. And this defense rallies around Ed Oliver. Every time he makes a big play, you see fans in the stands doing that lasso. You see players on the field doing that lasso with him. And He absolutely loves to get the team fired up in big moments. Now, what does this mean for the rest of the team? Well, it means these two guys are going to be able to have a little bit less pressure on them. One being the massive, gargantuan defensive tackle, the rookie Deone Walker out of Kentucky, 6'6", 300 plus pounds, and he has been dominant this year. Video coming on him later, but he has been so good. And when you are able to parlay him with Ed Oliver, it makes it that much more difficult for the interior offensive line to have an answer for both Deone Walker and Ed Oliver. Then you add in the veteran, DaQuan Jones. He has been outstanding the past few seasons. A little bit slow to start this year, but when he's with Oliver, we know how much easier that makes his job. And as a veteran, he can really capitalize on that. Now, that's the interior for you. As far as the pass rush on the edge, Joey Bosa, we have not seen much production from him in the games that Ed Oliver has been missing. But what we did see from him in week 1 was a really stellar performance against the Baltimore Ravens. And things will tell you that was because Ed Oliver was in the game. And that's natural. Anytime you are able to have strong interior defensive linemen, it makes things that much easier for the edge rushers who they can't get double teamed nearly as much anymore because they're focusing on the interior and the guys that are closer to the quarterback. So I am looking, if Ed Oliver is able to come back for this game against the Falcons, I can almost guarantee you, give that the Schreiber guarantee, either Joey Bosa, AJ Epenesa if he plays, or Greg Rousseau are getting a sack against Michael Penix and the Atlanta Falcons if Ed Oliver is in the game, because he makes things that much more difficult. So you can lock that in. Clip that later if it doesn't work, and if it does, I'll be right here posting every single day here for Bills Digest, and just a massive addition for the Buffalo Bills getting Ed Oliver back. Now, this does have long-term implications. We've seen that the Bills have always been active in the trade deadline. They want to make some sort of move, whether it's smaller, whether it's bigger, like with Amari Cooper last season where they traded for him from the Browns to get that wide receiver 1 talent. I think they're going to do something similar, and they're going to bring over some sort of defensive veteran to contribute, whether that's on the back end in the secondary or whether that's up front. That is the question that remains to be seen. But things are looking up for the Buffalo Bills as Ed Oliver comes back from injury. And I am excited. We've got a Monday Night Football game to look forward to. Thank you so much for tuning in on Bills Digest. I have been Josh Schreiber. Looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for some more content.